about at the rate before test and at the rate after test. Okay, so see here, inside this testng.xml, what have did, we have written one suit. Okay, in the XML file there is only one suit. We can write different test folders. Okay, so here we have written the this is the test folder. Inside this there are three classes. Okay, and inside the classes there are different test cases, and there is another folder for the test we have considered. So inside this only one class is there, it is day 4. So by using an at the rate test annotation, what will happen, at that before test will execute this before this test and before this test also. Okay, so before both the test it should execute. Okay, so by using a suit it executes only once before the suit. At the rate after suit it also execute only once after the suit. But when we are using at the rate test annotation, at the rate before test and at the rate after test annotation, by using this we can execute multiple times, or we can say how many times we have used the test folder here inside the testng.xml file. Okay, so that many times it should execute. So currently we will write only I'm just commenting out this for the understanding purpose, and here we will write one method public void, and here we say it is before test, before test. Okay, this is the method name which we have used here, and inside this we will print one message just like before every or before test, you can say before test folder uh, it should execute. Okay, it should execute, and here we will use the annotation as uh, before test, and we will import it. So now we are having the two test folder. Okay, so now before this test, that means before execution of day 1, day 2 and day 3, it should execute, and before execution of day 4 it should execute. Okay, so before this test, so we will execute this. Okay, so run as testng suite. Yes, so we can see here before day 1, day 2, day 3, before this all the test cases, before test folder, that means at the before test method is get executed, and before this class it is executed. Understood? Yes, so we will again use for the at the rate after test. Okay, so at the rate after test notation, and we will just copy this, and here we will write the test. Okay, test folder it should execute. Okay, so we have to import this. Yes, now what will happen, before execution it is done, and after execution, that means this day 3 module 3 test case, it will execute this after test folder. Okay, and same for this test. Okay, so we will execute this, so run as test ng suite. Yes. Okay, so after execution of this test, it is executed at the rate after test, same for this. Okay, so this is basically at the rate after test. At the rate after test and before test are hardly used basically in the XML suite, because there is no mainly there is no use many of the times. Okay, so but for the understanding purpose we are remembering it. Okay, so there is no any idle example for using the at the rate base before test and the at the rate after test. Okay, okay, so this is about the before and the after test. Okay, now there is a at the rate before class. Okay, and at the rate after class. So when we are using basically at the rate before class and at the rate after class, so we have seen just like we have to launch a browser. Okay, so launching a browser is always a requirement for all the classes. Okay, so launching a browser and closing a browser. Okay, so launching browser test case we can write inside the at the rate before class. Okay, and closing a browser we can write at the rate after class. Okay, So I'm just writing here just like at the rate after class, and it is basically before the method. So public void, and here we will write before class test. Okay. So these are the annotations basically. At the rate after class, at the rate test, these are the annotations. Okay. So here we will
So,
yes, yes, Anangi.
तुम्ही annotation after class use केले आणि
Yes, yes,
क्लासला नाव before class.
yes. It should be the before class. We will like import this. Okay. So before class test, so we will print just like before every class, okay, it should execute. And we'll write for the after class also. Every class it should execute means in the TestNg.xml. So here it is a class. So before the execution of this day one class, it will execute. Okay, and after class also it will execute. Then same for this class before and after. Same for this class before and same for this. Okay, so before every class and before every after every class, it should execute. Okay, so we will execute it. So run as TestNg suite. Yes. So before day one class, okay, it is executed. After day one class, it is executed. So it is before and after day two, then before and after day three, and before and after day four. Okay. So what we will do, we will simply we can say we will launch a browser before the execution of this class. Okay, and after execution of this class, we will close the browser. Okay. Likewise, we are writing the test cases inside this. So launching browser test case will write inside the before class, and closing browser will write inside the after class method. Okay. So this is about the before and after class. Now the next we will be learning is at the rate before method and at the rate after method. Means simply the test case which we are writing means here this is the test case. Okay. So before this method, so this is the method, this is the method, this is the method. Okay. These are different methods which are created. So before every method, we have to just do something. Okay. So means main example, suppose we can say before every test case or before every method, we have to log in. Okay. With the different logins are there, because when we are working on any of the website, there is no the single login. Okay. We have to test it for the different logins. Okay. So we can write the login functionality inside the before test before method. Okay. That means before this method, our login functionality should work. Okay. So login functionality we will write inside the before method, and inside the after method we will write it for the logout functionality. Okay. So we will write it for the same. We'll write one method, that is public void at the rate before method. Oh, the name. Okay. Before method test is the method name, and we'll write the annotation before method. Before method. Okay, and we will print one message just like before every method, it should execute. And same we will write for again for the other after method also. Let's we will just import it, and it should be the after one. Okay, so after every method it should execute. So what will happen, so after every test or every method, means inside the day 4 there are three methods. So before and after every method, our both the methods will execute, which is at the before method and after method. So we will execute it. So run as TestNg suite. Yes, so we can see here before day one method, before and after day one module 3, before and after day one module 2, okay, before and after uh, day 2, okay, day 2 module 1 likewise. So before and after every method, okay, inside our test suite, it will execute, okay. So these are all about the TestNg annotations. So total TestNg annotations we have seen here is 9, okay. So before suit, before test, before class, and this is the sequence of execution. So which one will execute first? Okay, this is the question many of the times are asking in the interview. Just tell us the sequence of execution of the TestNg annotations. Okay, so at the rate before suit will execute first, at the rate before test will execute after the suit, at the rate before class will execute after the test, then at the rate before method will execute after this. Likewise, this is the sequence basically for the execution. Okay, at the last, after at the rate after suit will execute. So this should be remembered. Okay, so yes.